here.
Oh, we got 30 laps to go. You got Kyle Busch leading. You see Logano and Edwards now trying to chase. Let's see if anybody can make any headway. Looks like Carl Edwards had the second fastest lap that lap. It's a little bit faster than Logano.
Those are the 18 cars that are on the lead lap. The lead right now 0.6 of a second over Joey Logano. Carl Edwards is 1 second back. Again, Allgaier trying to go underneath Newman, while right behind Harvick has cleared Jason Leffler.
And the one thing that I can see is we've got some shade. We've got some clouds here, and the corners actually off of 2 and into 3 and a good part of 3 and 4 is under. It's a lot less hot there now, and I think some of these guys, we heard Kyle Busch talk about being tight earlier. I'm wondering if it might create a more tight situation for him as these laps wind down.
Well, Harvick has now pulled up on the back bumper of the 12 of Allgaier. Here comes Leffler. Nice 4-car battle getting to shape up here at Dover. 20.
He's still trying to make that run and make that pass. He's going to have to drive it down in and slide up in front of him right there.
And he's going to
able to do it now.
And here comes the 33 of Harvick trying to ride that rail down low.
That was a nice job of learning by Justin Allgaier there of what it was going to take to make that pass on Ryan Newman. He kept trying to stick his nose in, but it was the wrong place. He finally got that run on the exit of the corner to where he could carry that speed down the straightaway and put the slide job on him.
Okay, the one thing I've noticed on this last restart, Kyle has not opened up that instantaneous 1.5, 2-second lead. It's 0.7 of a second over Logano and Edwards.
Well, that's the first restart we've had without fresh tires. They had run a few laps, had a caution, so now these cars are able to catch back up and reset. And now you see, I think the only way that Logano or Edwards is going to have a shot at Kyle Busch is if this race goes green to the end.
Yeah, Kyle has been a rocket ship on the restarts. He has led 165 laps. Newman has led 5. Logano has led 4. That's it. Let's go back and check in on this bout. Whoa, Stenhouse makes an evasive move, trying to get under Darnell in the same process. Brad Keselowski in this mix, and Stephen Wallace out in front of all of them. That is 11th on back through 14th.
You can see Stenhouse get a little bit loose right there. Brad Keselowski got to the right rear quarter panel of his car.
You know, I'm watching Stenhouse, and we talked about his great comeback. A couple of cars back is Brian Scott. Scott, at one point, had Rookie of the Year honors basically in the bag. And right now, I think it was a 3-point difference coming into this race. And here's Stenhouse again running in front of Brian Scott.
Yeah, he is doing that. I'm looking at Eric Darnell there in that 16 car. He's done a fantastic job. He's picked up 24 spots. He didn't have a good qualifying effort. He got down a lap at one point today, got that back, and now is up in the 12th spot.
Well, Darnell made his first nationwide start of the season back at Richmond. He started 17th, finished 22nd in that race. Side by side with Stenhouse, the two Roush Fenway Racing teammates.
This is where Jack Roush gets a little bit nervous when these guys start racing each other. He's seen this before earlier in the year, and they'd get in the same accident, but you can see Ricky Stenhouse takes that spot away now.
And there's Brian Scott, as we mentioned, just a couple of cars behind him. Brad Keselowski, followed by Brendan Gaughan, Michael Annett. Those guys are all on the lead lap.
I think that damage that Keselowski has to the right front of his car is really affecting the handling on his car right now. He's just not able to hold the car down in the center of the corner.
Brian Scott taking a peek underneath Darnell. They're side by side through the corner. Can he clear him? Not this time. He'll try it again. Meanwhile, we can tell you the race leader is getting ready for more traffic. That's Eric McClure, and you're on board with Danica Patrick.
Well, we thought that might help Joey Logano a little bit, but Kyle disposes of that traffic pretty quickly.
Yeah, Logano is doing a pretty good job through this traffic as well. I mean, he's just zooming by Eric McClure now. And if Danica will give him a break right here, he might even be able to close just a little bit.
Danica stays high.
Gained about a half a second that lap.
Logano goes low, and he clears. There's Carl Edwards next to come by Danica.
Yeah, Kyle's got clear selling for a while, though, so See, once they get back once Logano clears that, what these lap times do now.
Yeah, we'll see how it stabilizes out.
Well, with all that damage, Danica is running 0.7 of a second slower than our race leader. But she's flogging it. She's getting out there and getting the laps.
Yeah, they actually did a pretty nice job of getting this car repaired and fixed, and she is able to get a little more experience, a few more laps on the track here.
Top 3 now have some wide open track. There goes Kyle, Joey, and Carl. 17 laps to go here at the Monster Mile. It is basically going to come down to these 3. Side by side, it is Brendan Gaughan getting passed by the 22 of Brad Keselowski. Well, almost. Here comes Brendan right back on him.
Yeah, Brad's got his hands full with that race car right now. Whoa.
Well, he does clear him. Michael Annett now wants a piece of the 62, and it looks like he's going to get it. So both those guys were recipients of the lucky dog, and right behind them is Willie Allen. Allen is 2 laps down in 20th position. Racing for ALS on the hood of his car. A great story. Not great from the standpoint of the fact that Willie lost his father to the disease, but that Willie has taken the cause up and saying, we're going to do whatever we can to raise money to fight Lou Gehrig's disease. We wish him well. Whoa, Stenhouse. And here comes Wallace right back on him. This is for 11th on the racetrack. Stenhouse is trying to get his 3rd straight top 10 finish for the first time ever in his career. And he's racing like there's 15 laps to go, which there is.
It's actually 14.
Well, 14 now. The race leader's just past stripe.
Yeah, but Stenhouse, he kind of got forced up there a little while ago up to the high side. He'd been running around the bottom most of the race, but he got forced up there in traffic, and so he's able to make up some time there. So he's making that high side work. He might get to the top 10.
Okay, they're in clean air. Let's check the leaders. Speeds at the line. This time by. Here they come.
We'll see what they have.
1, 2, and 3.
Just the way they're running.
Shows you the gap a little bit further back as the laps continue to wind down here. The battle for 5th place is what we're looking at right now. That's Trevor Bayne trying to hold off Paul Menard.
I'm sure if Kyle Busch ever goes back and watches these races and listens to us sometimes, he'd probably think, what are those guys talking about? Thinking these guys are going to catch me.
Well, every now and then they do.
Yeah. 4 times they don't, though.
I'll tell you what, Trevor Bayne is probably going to be counting his lucky stars when his crew talks to him about the number of close calls they had with tires today when those cautions came out right at the perfect time for them.
Yeah, they did catch a few breaks in that first run. He almost blew that right front tire, but they got it off of there, and like I said, he got a few breaks after that.
Michael Annett wants the 15th position from Brad Keselowski.
Like he might get it.
And he does. He clears him. Kevin Harvick gets around Paul Menard, so move Harvick up to the 6th position.
Not too bad for a car that was headed to the garage area a while ago with smoke coming out the windows.
Yeah, he came in and got those fresh tires that last caution, and he's making those work. He's trying to drive his way back into the top 5 now.
Let's check on Ricky Stenhouse because he's closing on Ryan Newman. Those tires are finally starting to catch up with Ryan. He has drifted back from the race lead. He is now running in 9th, and Stenhouse is closing, and here comes Stephen Wallace as well.
Yeah, Stenhouse is going to try to use that groove that Ryan Newman's been using up on the higher side and see if he can make that pass.
The view from Stephen Wallace.
Gives you a little bit of an idea of how you drive uphill out of these corners. It's what you fight. You've got the banking, and then it flattens out, even though the straightaways are still banked 9 degrees.
You see Brian Scott also giving the 66 a look. Brian won the truck race here at Dover back in May a year ago. Right now he's got his hands full. The lap traffic of Eric McClure being cleared by first Ryan Newman, then Ricky Stenhouse. Eric giving plenty of ground. McClure's running 29th right now, 6 laps down. How about the battle again for 5th? Trevor Bayne has it. Kevin Harvick wants it.
Yeah, and he has fresher tires and a lot of experience on young Trevor Bayne, and I think that's going to prevail right here.
And he does clear him. So move Harvick back into the top 5. The laps continue to wind down. It is 6 laps this time by, and of course for Kyle Busch, he's looking to make another page of history in the NASCAR record book. Let's check in on this radio.
We're not going to make it. I've had a vibration since 15 to go. It's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. We ain't going to make it.
That's pretty pessimistic right there. He must feel like he has a right front issue maybe, or maybe a loose wheel. I'm not sure what he's feeling.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we talk about that lower air pressure. Sometimes he's tried to get out there and get those leads.
Like that. We're going to do this right here. We're going to do it.
Could have run it a little bit hard. You see right there, he got the left front down off the track and shot him up a little bit, but he's still running
his lap
faster than
time.
anybody else.
Yeah, his lap times are right there, so I think he's fine.
5 laps to go. Is there a problem on the 18? There's Joey Logano. It could be another 1-2 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing in another 4 laps. Carl Edwards a 2.5 seconds behind the race leader in 3rd. That last lap, both cars, Joe Gibbs, Toyotas ran identical 24.8-second laps. Now this time there'll be 3 laps remaining. Now the last time Kyle Busch led over 100 laps and failed to win was Kansas last October. Guess who went on to win? Joey Logano, the guy riding right behind him. But Kyle has led 188 laps today. Logano has led 4.
Yeah, and he's going to encounter a little more lap traffic here. Just be a matter of where he catches him. Does it slow him down? You can see Joey Logano's catching him. He's got it down to a 1/2 second here right now.
3/10 that last lap.
Edwards is also closing in. And Kyle does have lap traffic. 2 cars that he's going to have to maneuver through. The 09 of Kelly Byers. Byers gives him room.
Here comes Logano charging through the center of the corner, though.
We're going to have one more lap to get it done.
White flag is out. Does Kyle Busch make the record stick? Logano wants a piece of it, but he's running out of racetrack.
Bring it to us, folks. Still there.
Down the back straightaway for the final time. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. It could be and will be the 11th time that Joe Gibbs Racing is going to finish 1-2. Coming around the corner, 41st win of his nationwide career.
11 right there, boys.
And he's got the record.
There we go. All right.
Carl Edwards comes home in 3rd, and you can see how far back it is to Reed Sorensen in 4th. Rounding out the top 5, it will be Kevin Harvick.
Joe's going to get his picture taken.
Here comes a battle. Stephen Wallace, and he holds off Brian Scott for the 12th position.
You are awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
Well, whatever problem Kyle had in that race car, it wasn't enough to keep him from winning.
I'm not sure he wouldn't mess with those guys. And the rest of the field today, he really had a good car all day long. Nobody could really mount a true charge against him.
Yeah, I can tell you, I was racing against Sam Ard in 1983 in the Busch Series at that time, and thought that was just phenomenal, winning those 10 races, and wasn't sure that record would ever be broken. Of course, Kyle tied it just a couple of years ago, but man, this young man is just phenomenal talent.